Hello, and thank you so much for coming to check out this video about the full moon in Aries just after eclipse season. I'm Alejandra, and I'm excited to talk about this today with you. And I just wanted to give a little shout out and a promo for my own personal work that I do in the Lunar Alchemy Circle. If you are a woman who is looking to discover more about how to work with the moon, if you want to live by lunar rhythm, I invite you to click the link in the comments area and join us. I host monthly breathwork ceremonies every new moon and full moon, and it is an amazing community of women where we plant seeds and we really check in with one another. How's it going? What are we trying? What are we manifesting? And it's just a beautiful way to come together as women and honor our sisterhood and honor our beautiful mother moon. So that's the shout out there. All right. Are you ready? Okay, by the way, let's just check in. How's everybody doing after eclipse season? This one was intense. It was like, for me, there was intensity, but there was also a field of prayer I was committed to holding. And it really helped balance the tension, right? Which is actually what full moons are all about when I start talking about the energetics of it. Yeah, I know some people that went through it emotionally. I know some people that walked out unscathed, unscathed. So there are those stories too. And I just wanted to share some love and compassion that if it was a rough eclipse season, if stuff came to the surface that surprised you, blindsided you, if there are major endings and major new beginnings happening, we're here to hold space for it and honor it all. Eclipses come and they shift our timelines, and where we're at, it can shoot us out on this amazing trajectory, of a place we actually want to go, where we recalibrate to our newfound north. So even if that means hitting rock bottom before it happens, it's, doesn't feel good, but ultimately in the journey, it's a needed step. So just holding space, sending love. Okay. That being said, can we please talk about this full moon in Aries? I'm going to start by offering a cinematic metaphor because I just love movies, and I think it's important when we speak about the energy of full moons or new moons for that matter. If there is something we can compare it to, then it allows us just deeper comprehension. And so I am starting off with a classic. I checked the date when this movie was released. It was 2003. And it is Quentin Tarantino's famous Kill Bill, Volume 1. All right, so let's get into it. Why would I choose this as an Aries full moon energy? Well, it's pretty gory and bloody. So Mars, check. I mean, let's face it, that is Mars. He is the archetype of the warrior inside of us, right? I'm not saying that we go out and do these things, but there is a militant warrior that sometimes needs to take action. And that's what we're tapping into. That's what I want to tap into with this scene and the setup. So it starts off, and I'll do a precursor to where the moment of the full moon happens energetically in the movie. So before that moment, there is a scene, and it is Uma Thurman, one of the protagonists, and she is at a wedding dress rehearsal. And she's in her white gown, she's pregnant, and she suddenly needs a moment, a break. And she walks outside to get some air, and all of a sudden she sees Bill and he's playing some instrument. It's like super Tarantino with the music and everything. And we realize, oh, she left the life of assassins. She left the life of being an assassin because she was pregnant. And so she just wanted a new life for herself, right? And she found this new man, and Bill was not happy with it. But he plays real cool in the beginning. And she asks him, "Are you going to play nice?" And he's like, "For you, of course." And so he walks into the church. She actually doesn't have any guests for the bride's side. So it's pretty cool and serendipitous that he showed up. So she introduces Bill to her future husband as her father. It's this really comedic jest. I love it. I love it so much. But anyway, what happens is the party sits down, the camera zooms out, and all of a sudden you see Bill's team of assassins come and they're approaching the church. They go in and then there's a massacre that takes place. And the next scene is Uma Thurman waking up in a hospital. And we don't know this at the time, but 4 years have passed. She's been in a coma for 4 years. Bill shot her in the head. I forgot to mention that. It's just very violent, like all these details. But I mean, this is Mars, okay? This is Mars. Mars is the god of war. So she wakes up in this hospital. She has no idea what happened. Her belly is flat. She has no clue what happened to her child. She touches her head, and there's like this metal plate where she got shot, and she's feeling it like, oh my dear God. And she's realizing what happened. She's putting pieces together and is like, I need to find Bill. And this becomes her mission. Kill Bill, right? Volume one. Literally the title of the movie. The title of the movie is the energetic symbol of the Aries full moon. It is, and when I say it's an energetic symbol, Aries is an initiator. Aries is a cardinal sign. It means that something is beginning and great change is taking place, something's shifting. And with Aries as the initiator in a fire sign, in the fire temple of Mars, it's this soldier getting ready that's waking up and knowing exactly what to fight for. Now, in this literal sense, she's gonna take revenge, right? She was betrayed. She's realizing she was betrayed, and she suddenly wakes up and she's no longer trapped or silenced, and she's gonna break free from this horrible, infirmary, this hospital, where she's also suffering abuse by the hands of the nurse. It's just really, really messed up. And she decides, I'm an inner warrior. I'm going to have my courage. I know exactly my purpose in the world, and I'm going to forge this new path. I'm going to find Bill and I'm going to kill him. Okay. And so it doesn't even matter so what you can look at that is this is your own birthing moment or a reckoning that can be taking place inside of you about your mission and about your purpose. And it doesn't matter if you don't feel fully ready. Aries is, more of a young vibration. There could be some immaturity to it, or, you're not really prepared. You haven't gone to the master teachers and learned all the things before you're supposed to start something. You just start. And what is so beautiful in the movie is so she's gonna break out, right? She wakes up and then has this horrible, like, she's crying. It's this huge revelation. And she hears people are coming. And so she immediately is like, and falls back asleep. Well, the nurse is bringing someone new in to assault her, but she ends up taking revenge right in that moment. It's the moment she decides no more. So she ends up killing the person trying to assault her. And then she's like, I got to break away. I got to get out of here. So as she jumps out of bed, she falls flat to the floor and she realizes her legs don't work. Now, most of us, this might stop us in our tracks. But when we're talking about the signature and the energy of Aries, no big deal. No worries. I got no legs. It's fine. I will find a way. So what does she do? She just starts crawling. She's so determined and nothing is going to stop her. Okay? This is Aries energy, right? The light inside is burning so passionately. And all she has is a one-track mind because she knows what she's here to do. So I'm not saying that we are all going to have this moment similar to Uma Thurman. In many ways, they're going to hold tension between the light and the shadow of this energy, of this signature, right? Is what you are tapping into truly, authentically your purpose? Or is it coming from sheer brute force? Do you see the difference? One is more kind of like in Leo. Aries is the temple that exalts the sun. And this whole individualistic, I'm here to do my purpose. It's also very Leo in a sense. Leo is more noble, right? Neo is more philosophically a North Star compass. Aries energy can use part of it, but what it is it's more militant in its vibration. It's more of a warrior in its frequency. So, as you are a warrior and as you are figuring out and having this reconciliation, this moment of clarity, what is it that is coming to the surface for you that is asking you, be bold, go and start this, go and do this. You know, you've got this. Don't be a copycat, anybody else. Just continue to go forward and be you. What is you? Now, if you are fully held in ego, that you is probably not going to look pretty. That you is going to bulldoze and bring all the shadow qualities of Aries that, that happens to us at sometimes. And if you're doing the work, however, maybe you're tapping into something deeper. Maybe you have finally figured out, especially after an eclipse moment. This is the first full moon we're having after an eclipse. So, what is coming to the surface? What passion and fire is being lit up inside of you to move forward and start something? Now, there is tension with the sun, and full moons always bring tension. If Aries is here to trailblaze and to go first, right, the warrior energy, then we need to remember, warriors aren't really here to be diplomatic. That's the opposite end. That's Libra's side of the equation. And so, as much as this full moon moment is shining and spotlighting you as an individual, how are you going to hold the tension with the people that exist with you in this world, right? Aries is the I am, and Libra, we are, together, the harmony, the balance that is needed. And it's, shadow side with Libra, there's the shadows can pop up on each side. Where is there people pleasing, or where are you just doing the thing because you're hanging out with the wrong crowd and this is, this is how we do things. I don't know. I don't know what is going to be that tension between it. But I do know that with Mars in Scorpio, what makes this moon particularly potent, right, is that Mars is incredibly powerful right now. Mars in Scorpio is a more mature Mars. It's more stealth. It's not so overt, it's covert. And so there's an energy behind this full moon in Aries where Mars is in its feminine water temple. It's in Cancer. And there is something deeply committed, right? It's a fixed energy sign. And there is a deep commitment to whatever it is that's going to be spotlighting it, whether that's good or whether that's bad. The shadow side of, Mars and Scorpio is, it can go to the darker things, right? It could be, it could not look pretty for some people, or maybe you notice it in others like, Jesus, this is just really shadowy. You can feel it where they're not speaking from their heart, where they're not doing their own shadow work. And you'll know if the purpose you have is to enforce brutality, over others, you're probably in the shadow side of what this lunation is going to feel like. Now, if you're on the light side of it, maybe Mars and Scorpio for you is doing your own shadow work. maybe Mars and Scorpio ruling this Aries new moon is really understanding in an emotionally intelligent way the things that need to be discovered within you, the places that still need more processing, but you're getting clues and breadcrumbs to follow as the full moon in Aries lights up your purpose. So I wanted to say, like, just some things you can think about with this Aries full moon. Some signs you can tell that might be like, okay, I'm feeling this, is a bold blazing moment of authenticity. Something that feels uniquely you is birthing or showing, revealing itself at this time. Another way could be a recalibration of you and who you are in your relationships, right? People pleasing, hopefully that is no longer an option, or maybe you can see it more. Maybe it's being revealed to you a little more in the way that you shape shift, right? That's a shadow side of Libra. When you think of someone that's diplomatic coming in, they're looking, what can I do? How do I approach this person? What do I need to say to make them get on my side of the equation or something like that? And so going through all of these are going to be ways in which we're looking for the shadow aspects, but we're also looking for the light that births within us. And I thought I would share a personal story, because one thing I love to do, and especially if you're working with the moon and you're planting new moon seeds, well, you have to remember the last new moon seed we had in Aries was a solar eclipse. And I definitely remember it was at 0 degrees Aries, right? And then the next day you had Neptune going into Aries, and then Saturn comes in, and it was like, all right, big shifts, fundamental changes. And what new moon seeds were you planting at the time? Well, 6 months later, now that we have this beautiful full moon in Aries, you could be having a harvesting moment, or the next wave of awakenings that are coming based on what you set your intention during that new moon solar eclipse in Aries. So for me, I started the lunar alchemy circle at that on the day of the solar eclipse. And Aries for me is in my 11th house. So that's social circles, networks, affiliations, and also the house of my deepest dreams and wishes. Okay. And it was like, I want to create a community where women come together and breathe, where we plant seeds of intention, where we hold space for others. And it was bold and courageous. And I didn't quite know what everything was going to look like. It felt uniquely me. It didn't feel like anyone anywhere else in the world was, where I could find this. And I wanted to start this on my own. And it felt like so aligned with my mission and with my purpose, right? My brand is Wildflowers Within, because I do believe there are these unique seeds that have been planted inside of us since birth. And all it takes is nurturing and cultivation for your own wildflowers to blossom. So now, as this full moon in Aries is coming and I'm looking at stuff, I'm seeing the next offering that is going to be coming out that again feels like my Dharma, feels very unique to me. And I don't know of anywhere else that is actually doing this. And it deals with shadow stuff. I think of the Mars ruling it in Scorpio. I'm creating a series called the Liberated Survivor Series. And it's for women who have been sexually assaulted. And it is 2 ceremonies. The first one is going to be the Liberated Survivor Ceremony. And it is a way to release guilt and shame from the body. Now, as perfect as, an 11th house signature of like social groups and friends, I'm teaming up with an incredible sister healer. And I can't even explain her magic, but I know her work because I've done it. I've gone through it. And so together, I told her my idea of creating a container of sacred prayer and ritual and an initiation, because I feel that that is truly missing in this life. I think that initiations are so important for us. And culturally, across the world, you see different initiations for the various people. And I think in the United States, depending on what culture we come from, we can lose these traditions. And so this is something more just, coming through as I tune into my soul of what am I missing here on earth? What do I want to be more a part of? I want to be a part of more ritual and ceremony and love and singing and, drum circles and dancing and comedy stories and world travel. I mean, all of this, all the freedom that's waiting for us. So I'm really excited that the page is under construction and I'm looking to put out the offer soon. And it really feels like a full moon moment for me. And so I invite you to start tracking your new moon seeds of intention because 6 months later, you're going to have a full moon in that temple most of the time. Very rarely you won't, right? If like for this last one, we had two new moons in Virgo, right? There are some times where the rhythm can skip, and that's okay. That's all divinely timed as well. Something is taking a little longer to seed itself and to blossom. So I hope that this supports you. Just wanted you to remember that Aries is asking you to be bold. It's asking you to find something that is uniquely you. And I send you so many blessings for everything you are creating in your world. If you are a woman who wants to come breathe with us for our full moon ceremony that's coming up, click the link in the comments and I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Take care.